Today's lesson is going to be the first of two lessons that deal with solving word problems where you're going to use trigonometry. Now, the good thing is this is very similar to what you did for Pythagorean theorem word problems. The only difference is you're going to do or use trigonometry to solve it as opposed to the Pythagorean theorem. We're going to follow the same steps for some parts of this, which is we're going to draw a picture and label as necessary. What are we always going to draw a picture of? A right triangle for the most part. We're going to decide which trig function to use, sine, cosine, or tangent, and then we're going to set up a proportion and either cross multiply if we're finding a side, or use the calculator if we're finding an angle. Round sides to the nearest tenth and angles to the nearest degree. All right, so we have a road going uphill at a 5% incline. If you have traveled 50 feet horizontally, how far have you traveled vertically? So we know we have a right triangle. This is our road. All right, the road is going uphill. So where's the 5 degrees? The 5 degrees is right there. It said we've traveled 50 feet horizontally. That's horizontal. I want to know how much I traveled vertically. That's vertical. Okay, so now I go to my acute angle here. I know that this is opposite and this is adjacent. So that tells me I'm going to use tangent of 5 is equal to x over 50. We cross multiply to get x is equal to 50 times the tangent of 5, so that we get 4.4 feet is what x is the value of. Okay? Now we go to the next problem. An 18-foot ladder. This is we've seen our ladder problem before, is leaning against a house. So here is our ladder, and the ladder is 18 feet. Here is our house. Okay, the foot of the ladder is 10 feet from the house. When you see the word foot, you're thinking of the base. You're down here. What is the angle the foot of the ladder makes with the ground? That means we're trying to find that angle. We have adjacent. We have hypotenuse. That means we're using cosine of x is 10 over 18. This is nice and neat. Since we're finding the angle, we go right to our calculator to get 56 degrees. Lastly, we have a support wire for a light pole. So here is our pole. Pole is always vertical. Here is our wire. The wire makes a 62-degree angle with the ground. Here's the ground. If the pole is 60 feet high, how long is the wire? There's my x. So now I know I have opposite hypotenuse. So I'm doing the sine of 62 equals 60 over x. As we saw yesterday or the day before, we have to cross multiply, then divide, and we get x to be 68.0 feet. You know, since you're finding the hypotenuse, your number should be greater than 60, which is what we found here. Okay, so those are the 3 very straightforward examples of trigonometric word problems. We will do more of them in the next lesson, dealing with a couple of specific angles. All involve the same concepts that we followed here today.